So today I'm going to answer the top 10 questions that are still left about the Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. So starting off, the first question, what does the footage look like? I was lucky enough to get my hands on it at NAB 2018, and from what I saw there, it looked pretty decent. And since then, Blackmagic have released a teaser video showcasing the camera's capabilities. The video is quite limited in terms of its subject matter, and you lack a lot of color that people are going to want to see. So I'll be interested to see once more footage comes out and once we start getting our units in to have a look at. So question number 2, which Metabones should I get? Simply answered, yes, your regular and micro four thirds speed boosters will work, but the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera original ones won't. Obviously, XL and Ultra depend on the image circle of the lens that you're going to be putting on there. So XL for full frame, Ultra for Super 35. The benefits of having the XL over the Ultra are obviously the extra third stop of light and the extra field of view you're going to get. I'll make sure I post pictures and footage online as soon as I get hold of our demo camera. Question number 3, how long does the battery last? The camera uses Canon's LP6 batteries and they will last 1 hour of shooting. One LP6 is roughly 13 watt hours. If you put, say for example, Hawkwood's 98 Mini V-Lock on the back, you're going to get 7.5 hours out of that. Question number 4, what accessories do I need to get for it? In my opinion, there are 3 must-have accessories for it, and that is a cage. So 8-Sins one looks really nice at the moment, but obviously once more come to the market, each one of them is going to have their own kind of little details that will change which one we recommend to each customer. An SSD, so obviously with the USB-C port, you can record straight to SSDs. So if that's something like Samsung's T5 drive or something by G-Tech or Angelbird, just make sure that the data rates are fast enough to handle what this camera is outputting. And last but not least is a power solution. So Hawkwood's Mini V-Locks, 15mm plate and something to mount it on. It's going to be a really versatile solution. You can just LP6 dummy battery in to DTAP, and then you can power your accessories off that battery as well, which is awesome. Question number 5, does it have autofocus? It does, but whether it's going to be any good or not is another thing. With Blackmagic's other cameras, the autofocus has been quite primitive in comparison to some of the other options on the market, like the Canons and the Sonys. It isn't going to track faces, it isn't going to be as complex as that. It's just going to be a push button autofocus. It's probably going to be contrast detect autofocus. Don't expect Canon and Sony performance out of this. They've clearly designed this camera with manual focus in mind. You can tell that for the fact they've got a 5-inch screen on the back. You know, they've got buttons for peaking and for magnifications. You can tell that they are intending you to be manual focusing on this camera. 6, does it have a stabilizer built in? No, it doesn't. And yes, I know for a lot of people it is a big deal, but again, there are ways around it. You can put on a gimbal and get better and smoother results. Yes, it's going to add bulk, but cameras are compromised, and what you're getting in return is a better looking image. It depends what compromise you're willing to make. The GH5 is a great alternative if you want that stabilization feature. But that's a great segue onto question number 7. Does it balance on gimbals? For example, the GH5S has a width of 138mm. This camera is 178mm wide. That is quite a big difference. So really thinking about personal experience, the widest camera I've put on like a crane to would be the 5D Mark IV. And so that's only around 150mm. I think with the weight distribution of the way the camera's designed, you're probably going to need to have some kind of counterweight. So I'm interested to see what Xeon and DJI and the other kind of gimbal manufacturers do to have this camera adopted onto their systems, because it's going to be incredibly popular with it. Obviously, as soon as we know the answer to it and we're able to test it, we will let all of you guys know. So keep an eye on our social media feeds for that. Question number 8, does it have a recording limit? No, it doesn't. It's classed as a camcorder. You can just keep rolling. There's no cut-offs. The limiting factor is going to be your media, which is a really nice segue onto question number 9. What media can it record to? So this is one of the camera's big strengths. You've got an SD card slot, you've got a CFast slot, and you've got the USB-C port on the side. The SD card slot, you can record up to 30 frames a second RAW on it, or 60 frames a second ProRes. For those higher codecs, you'll need a faster card, which can get quite expensive. CFast, you can record every single codec, every single frame rate too, but obviously the downside of CFast is, yes, it's small and it's convenient, but it's also quite expensive. This is where the USB-C port comes in. This is my favorite feature of the camera by far. The fact you can charge and you can record directly to SSD media over this USB-C port is awesome, and is going to save people a lot of money. A 1TB Samsung T5 will cost you around £250, whereas £250 in CFast is about 128 gig. So really the price difference and the size difference you get is remarkable. And obviously the only downside of it is the SSD is going to have to be mounted somewhere, but I think different solutions will come out around this. And really the size of these drives are so small now that I don't think it's a deal breaker. And then people can mix and match with SDs, CFast and SSDs. And last but not least, question number 10, When's it shipping? I get this question probably daily at the moment, and I don't know. Blackmagic have only told us it's going to be in September, it's going to be in the next couple of weeks, but we don't have an actual date yet. As soon as I receive some more information from Blackmagic, I will let everyone know over the social media again. So just keep an eye on that, and fingers crossed it's soon, because we're excited to get ours as well and test it properly. So yeah, that's been it. That's our top 10 questions that we've had over the past few months leading up to the release of the camera. We'll be doing a full review soon, so make sure you're subscribed.